What is going on, everyone? My name is Jazz, and thanks for entering the Lobby of Hobbies, where the idea here is that we share the games we enjoy and the hobbies we enjoy in hopes that you discover something worth checking out. We're here with another episode of Lobby Talks, and while we talk about various topics related to the board game hobby, today we're going to dive a little bit deep into what the Lobby of Hobbies mission is all about. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself so you can get to know me, and then in the comments, hopefully down below after this, I can get to know a little bit about you. So stick around and let's just have a chat. Alright, so let's start this conversation off talking about the vision here at the Lobby of Hobbies, and it's as simple as this. We want to raise awareness of this modern board gaming hobby and pretty much bring it to people from all walks of life. We want to pretty much make a broader audience. That means people from different socioeconomic statuses, different ethnicities, different age groups, different cultures, whatever the case may be. We want people to feel accepted and welcomed at the table. And to do that, we have to be able to share our experiences with them in hopes that we can get them to feel invited. Now, we know many people have had some type of experience with a board game, you and myself included, whether it be a Monopoly, Parcheesi, Clue, or maybe it's just a deck of cards. We've all had that experience, whether it be with family growing up or with the friends that we had in school. Now, myself, as I grew older into my teenage years, board games and card games kind of just fell off, and I was really heavily focused on video games and sports. Now, it wasn't until I was about 19 years old that I was on a ski trip with some friends, and the house that we were renting had a shelf of board games on it. And some of the people in the group, we didn't know each other at all. And someone suggested, pulling a board game off a shelf instead of, watching a movie that night. And man, we had a blast. It was, 3-4 hours later, and we were enjoying ourselves and just laughing, and people who didn't know each other became friends that night. And that experience stuck with me so much that 2 years later, when my wife and I were dating, I was going to be going over her house to meet some of her family, and the first thing I thought of was, how do I break the ice? How do I find a way to just feel comfortable and have them feel comfortable with me as well? And I remember that time 2 years prior with my friends at that ski house, and remembering that board games is something that brought people together. So I ran out to my local Toys R Us and I picked up, I remember, Categories and Taboo, 2 party games that I just remember playing at that ski trip. And man, when I brought them over to my wife's family, and we were playing and enjoying ourselves, I remember one of her family members said, "Wow, this was great. I would love to do this more often." And I remember going home and going on the computer and just spending all night. I think I probably broke night just searching, best board games, top board games, and I came across sites like Board Game Geek and YouTube channels like the Dice Tower and whatnot. And from there, it had been over. I started creating a list of things that piqued my interest, and things that I wanted to check out. And I remember putting them on my Christmas list that year. And my wife, who we were dating at the time, she bought me a couple of these games on my list, and we just played them over that Christmas break, just and getting a chance to check them out. And I was introduced to a game called Pandemic that really just, I looked at the pieces and I was like, man, this game is going to be difficult. But I went off of just the sheer recommendations that I was seeing online about this game, and it completely immersed me into the hobby, which is where I am today with what you see behind me. But to be honest, I always say that in this hobby, it's not only about the games, it's all about bringing people together. And that's what it's always been about for me. It's about the experiences that you have at the table with the people that are around you, whether it be friends, whether it be your family, and whether it might be somebody that you're meeting for the first time. Many of us that have been in this hobby have had those times where we've played a game and we've walked away, and the experience of that game has lasted with us, and we remember it for months, years to come. And this is what I'm hoping to share with you through the Lobby of Hobbies, that through our game reviews and through our discussions, that you might discover a game or something worth checking out, for your own family or with your friends, or something you could take over to grandmom's house for Sunday dinner. Of course, all of this when we get back to a little bit of normalcy, but where you're able to create your own experiences and your own memories that will last a lifetime. But before we get going, down in the comments below, if there's something that you want to talk about in a future video, a game, game discussions, whatever the case may be, some reviews, just drop it down below. I love to chat with you and discuss with you. But again, it's all about building community and building upon this hobby. So I will talk to you later, and I'll check you on the next episode.